Did Gypsy, or James, sorry, mention anything to you guys about Sunwapta Lake? Yeah, a little bit. Probably maybe about its age, about 75 years old. And going to be gone about 25 due to all that rock flour, of course. Now, just starting to come into view as we make our way farther down. Of course, you can see the ancient forest across the valley. And we'll be able to see the beautiful Dome Glacier. Of course, Mount Snowdome is the hydrological apex, so you can actually see a little bit of it there. But directly out to our left-hand side right now, those three beautiful peaks you can see make up Mount Kitchener. So the one on the far left, the tallest of all, is of course K1. Its main peak, which is sitting at 3,505 meters tall. And to its right, the middle peak, and then of course that's K2, and then far right is our K3. There's three beautiful peaks, and just starting to peak around just to the left of K1 is of course the beautiful Dome Glacier. And then just as we get to the bottom of the hill, we'll be able to see the beautiful Mount Snowdome. It's said to be between 100 and 300 meters thick of ice up there, but I haven't gotten a tape measure up there and figured it out, so I usually say in and around that range. Of course, it hasn't been fully confirmed yet, but hopefully we can get James up there with a big old tape measure, as he's also a fantastic ice climber. Back home in Ontario, I saw him climbing around on some of the waterfalls in Ontario, where we're both from. Of course, said to be pretty much the waterfall capital of Canada, of course, Ontario, with all the lakes we have as well. Now, speaking of lakes, out to our right-hand side, we got a different lake of this area. You'll notice it's not that sort of murky-colored Ripple Lake there. Is actually hot springs fed. Now, gentlemen, I will warn you, hot springs is a relative term, so if you do jump in there, you're going to come out a little bit less of a man, as the water, well, it's only about 5 degrees above zero all year round. Of course, all year round, including when out here it does go down to minus 70 degrees Celsius with the wind chill, that lake is actually still unfrozen underneath, so constantly receiving that, well, relatively warm water, of course. Gets its name, though, from the way that, as you can see, it's covered in ripples there from the katabatic wind coming off of the glacier constantly. So it's maybe 2 or 3 days of the year that lake will be still, otherwise it has that beautiful Ripple Lake attached to it. Now, you guys may have seen that little green shack attached to it. That little green shack is actually our newlywed shack, so when you come out here to get shacked up, as they say, we throw you in a physical shack, and it's basically the first test of marriage. So if you can survive one night in that thing, you can basically survive anything. Or at least that's what they say. Now, of course, a lot of people do wonder where we live out here. We actually live in a place called the Ice Palace. It's located at about 11 o'clock in behind this hill here. I'll show you guys a little bit of a green roof, which is our common room. So the Ice Palace, of course, isn't made of ice, thankfully, as it does go up to about 25 degrees out here, so by the middle of the season, we wouldn't have a house left. It's definitely not a palace either, although there are a lot of princesses, and I myself am a self-proclaimed king. Of course, the ladies don't agree with that sometimes. Luckily, I have my girlfriend there because, well, they don't do our laundry for us. Well, they do make us 3 square meals a day in that little green roof there that you can see to the right. That is actually our common room where they cook all of our food. That little tower you can see is our internet. I use the bunny ears because it's basically like 90s dial-up, just minus the crazy, weird computer noises. Of course, I've been trying to send my mother an email for Mother's Day for the last, what's it been now, a month, I suppose? So it's still sending. Maybe we'll get there eventually. It's faster than post office, I suppose. So, of course, I have my lovely girlfriend who does my laundry for me, because every time I try and fold, she scoffs at me and just does it anyways because I'm horrible at folding. Luckily for me, though, it is our 2-year anniversary in 9 days. My sweetheart and I. She works in the gift shop actually as well, so as you guys head through there, actually we're going to be going on lunch together soon, so we'll be eating cheeseburgers, hanging out together. But if you guys want to get a nice little panorama, from right where we are now, just to the right-hand side, there's that little sort of cliff thing. If you stand up on top of there, you can get a view of all the glaciers and mountains of the area. So directly out to our left-hand side, of course, Mount Athabasca and the North Face Glacier, and a little bit to its right, the beautiful AA Glacier, of course, then the Andromeda Glacier, those 2 hanging glaciers up there, completely independent from the Icefield. Then where you guys came from, of course, the beautiful Athabasca Glacier. Then just to its right, that sort of ridge, almost a triangle shape, is called Mini Dome Ridge. And of course, Mount Snowdome there, then the Dome Glacier, and finally Mount Kitchener on the far right-hand side. But otherwise, folks, you have yourselves a fantastic evening. Thank you very much on behalf of myself, your previous driver, James, and all of us here at Brewster. And stay warm, safe, and dry out there on the rest of your travels through the beautiful Canadian Rockies.
好了好了，还有。Takut aku. Sandali. Natakot ako pag lalo na nakita ko